we had a very terrible situation, at EKO Bridge, one of the pie caps. And again, I was only told last night, and that is not good enough. But I want to believe that, all the staff of Ministry of Works is going to be very much at alert in reporting, emergency situation like this. So a dredger, hit one of the pie caps. The pie caps is like the legs to human beings. What the pie cap and the pies are to the bridges are what the legs are. So imagine, a vehicle hitting, one of your legs. And so I immediately directed divers to be deployed. And I went, to the smaller boat to monitor the level of damages below the water occasioned by this dredger that hit this. And I was, very shocked. A whole one pie was totally removed. And what is holding that particular section is only the rods. So some of the rods are removed. So it's like a whole leg of somebody is cut off. Luckily for us, because I was going to announce shutting down, but I've looked at it and it's something we can, even very delicate, but we can restore it. There will be no need of shutting down this thing. But it's an emergency situation because one pie is totally out. And so I'm discussing with Beja on what they should do and what they should do immediately to restore that. But let me announce, and I appeal to the governor of Lagos State to please enforce that the waterways between Cater Bridge and the EKO Bridge should be closed. Because the dredger that hit the pie caps and the pies, tumbled and they got sunk, and I know that you all saw it. And so part of it is being seen. And so if a boat or ship is now going through that way, it may be very dangerous. And if we have a high tide, you may not see it. So what is safe is for that section of the waterway to be, closed down. And so I'm alerting all the authorities, the Navy, the Lagos State government, they have always been very proactive. This section must have to be closed down immediately. And I want you to help me to announce it, in radio, televisions, newspapers, that this section is closed down. I learned that the owner of the ship or whoever is the captain, the dredger is been arrested. And so we are going to take decisive action because what the damage is very major. And I also saw along the line a very serious dredging along Top Mainland Bridge. Notwithstanding that Federal Executive Council about 4 months back banned dredging, nationwide, any form of dredging, 10-kilometer radius from all bridges in Nigeria. So I was very shocked to see that dredging is still taking place. And I'm told that the person has been arrested. I want to hand them such people when they hand them over to me to the law enforcement agents because it's defilement of the Federal Executive Council directive chaired by Mr. President. And the punishment is very, very heavy. The dredging of sand along seas and rivers is very dangerous because all the piles in Lagos State were executed through skin friction, which means that it is the sand that is holding the piles and holding the bridge. And so if we now go ahead to continue to excavate these sands, it's dangerous. At the Top Mainland Bridge, we have installed a camera, to observe what is going on top and also under the water, and so under the bridge. And so we're going to be looking at that for all the bridges in Lagos, even though it's quite a lot of cost. So this is what we noticed, and it's very dangerous. And so I'm announcing again and again all forms of dredging in all our bridges in Lagos and all over the country to please stop. It's very dangerous, for the survivor of the bridges. And I saw on Cater Bridge, people, parking, even big trucks. They are parking on the bridge, they are picking passengers. I think I will still have time, to go and do some arrest. But please help us to announce that no trading on the bridges. Announce that there is no parking and loading of passengers on the bridges. The bridges are not designed for static loadings. They are designed for dynamic loads, which means vehicles that are moving. This is very, very important. Now we examine the Almighty Independence Bridge. I had to examine what is happening below the deck to be sure that as we declared that the place is safe, that is safe. I've directed for minor works along one of the abutments, sheet piling, but it's nothing to worry about. But something to worry about is a repair work like what is going on in the Tom Mainland Bridge and Cater Bridge. They have to, repair the pie caps and the cover to pie caps that have deteriorated, they have rusted, the rusts are exposed, and some of the piers, what you call columns, the rusts are also exposed, and they are a very big problem. So we are going to arrest that very, very quickly. And part of the problems of Tom Mainland Bridge and Cater Bridge on the pie caps, is that the salt water has found itself, about 10 cm into the pie cap concrete, which means that it is just a question of time. It will start to attack the reinforcement, and so this is very, very dangerous. And Beja, we've been in talk with them. We've also escalated this to international awareness. Beja seems to have found solution. This evening we're going to be discussing the solution with them. And in the coming weeks, I'm going to be writing to Mr. President so that we see if we can declare, emergency situation to all the bridges in, Lagos. There is a need. Even this one in EKO bridge that was hit by this thing, when we went down to the riverbed, we saw a lot of rust on the piles. And so the piles 53 years, above, that are not maintained, is like, having a wound on your leg. It's having some of your legs, not working, God forbid. So it is very dangerous. And it's my duty to expose the dangers of these things to our people. And to call for, proper evaluation and maintenance of our infrastructure. This is very, very important. And so that is what we have done. The 4 caps of Independence Bridge must be given immediate attention, and then sheet piling of a very small section of the abutment. Not to worry about Independence Bridge. I go on top of it every 4 hours to be sure that nothing mega.